no. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. We're going all the way so you can score more for your trade-in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV today. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News as we get you set for the latest news, insight, and analysis as game time approaches. The BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Check out lithiafordboise.com to view the full inventory of vehicles or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Thomas and Mack Center here in Las Vegas. The 1990 National Championship banner hanging from the rafters. 4 Final Four banners hanging as well, and a big one on tap here in the Mountain West, Boise State and UNLV. My name is BJ Rains. We welcome you to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. And as always, we've got our man Abe Jackson helping us kick off the show high atop the Thomas and Mack Center lower concourse here. Kind of a unique venue here. You can see our angle here for the media seating today. I actually don't mind it. I kind of like it. It's a different perspective than being right there up by the court. But Abe Jackson joins us. You'll hear him coming up in about 22 minutes over on 670 KBOI with the great Bob Beeler. And Abe, I know that Spencer Danielsism always would say it's the biggest game of the season because it's the next one. But right now for Boise State, massive game here tonight on the road.
It is. I mean, if you want to really put some distance between yourself and the team that might not get a bye in the Mountain West tournament, it's going to be this game. You already have, I believe, a 2-game lead on UNLV, who's sitting in that 6th position, I believe, still. But you get this win, you sweep them in the series, and then I feel pretty good about getting that bye in the Mountain West tournament.
Yeah, you'd have a 3-game lead, if, like you said, if you win this game tonight, so you would be in a great spot to do that. And by the way, Boise State going with the white uniforms tonight. They're having a blackout tonight for the 4,000 or so expected to come in the 18,000-seat arena, but it will be a blackout tonight in the crowd, which means UNLV is wearing their black uniforms. You can see Boise State down there to the left wearing their white home uniforms, which, hey, they're 2-4 on the road wearing some of the other colors. Maybe they got a pretty good record in the whites. Maybe not the worst trade-off.
Yeah, no, it looks good, and it's always kind of fun when places do things like that, like blackouts or whiteouts.
We'll take your questions, your thoughts here in the ICCU YouTube chat, your score predictions. Let us know where you're watching from, as we are about 52 minutes away from basketball here. Boise State and UNLV in a big game for the Broncos. And Abe, 2 wins in a row for the Broncos, but 2 home wins, 2 games where you were, decent favorites in both games, kind of did what you were expected to do. But now, first chance on the road, a real test. You're only a 2 or 3 point favorite. Truly a Mountain West battle, road game, pick-em type game to really see how much progress they've made.
Well, and like pretty much every team in the Mountain West, UNLV plays so much better in this building than they do on the road. So I think the Broncos are going to have their hands full. I mean, they have one of the best point guards, if not the best point guard in the league, in Didon Thomas. Now, you put Dent up there as well, and Cardenas when you're talking point guards. But Didon Thomas, the freshman of the year last year in the conference, he can just facilitate everything. So I think he'll be one of the key players that the Broncos are trying to at least contain.
Now, when these two teams played a couple weeks ago back in Boise, Boise State won by 22 points, 81-59. But Dylan Anderson started that game. R.J. Keene didn't even play that game with the broken nose. They've made some lineup changes as well. I mean, it's only been a couple weeks, but both these teams are looking a lot different right now. Yeah,
they are. And Coach Rice, we kind of knew this was coming down the pipe a couple games ago, right? That he just wouldn't been able to play 11 guys and trying to really get some people in a flow with all the substitutions that were happening. And so he did. He cut down on some players' playing time. Lockett and Anderson specifically, and then went to a starting lineup that had some people scratching their head. But since he's gone and done that, the Broncos are 2-0, and not just 2-0, but you said, they did what they were supposed to do, but so many times, teams don't do what they're supposed to do. You double-digit win against Nevada, then over 20-point win against Fresno State. You handled both of those teams. Get one here, and then San Jose comes to Boise. I mean, you get this win here, and then you could be looking at a 4-game win streak.
Yeah, I mean, look at Wyoming right now, only down 3 to Utah State with 6 minutes to go. Utah State in Laramie in a battle. So, I mean,
well, and I don't know for sure, but I was looking at the box score and I did not see Agbim in the box score.
Concussion protocol.
Yeah, I didn't see him in there. So yeah, for Wyoming to be hanging with Utah State without one of the best scorers in the league, for Wyoming, that's a pretty good game.
But it just tells you, I mean, on the road in this conference, Boise State has certainly seen that 2-4 on the road this year overall. And they played in some really tough venues. Tonight won't necessarily be one of those. But, I mean, Utah State came into this building when they were undefeated in conference and lost. Like, there's just something about going on the road in conference play, regardless of the records, regardless of anything. It's you never know what you're in for. It's a tough game every single night on the road in this conference.
Yeah, it is. And that's why it's so important to win your home games, too, because that's where you really got to get your record going, because it is tough to win games on the road. But the Broncos have done pretty well here in this building, 4 straight in this building, and I think 9 out of 10 overall over UNLV. So the numbers are saying that the Broncos should come out of here with a win.
What do you make of this UNLV program? Let's talk about them for a minute, because I mentioned you see the national championship banner, the Final Four banners, hanging from the rafters here, but it's been really tough since Dave Rice got fired. Their last tournament win, I think, was back in 2007. They haven't made the tournament since 2013 or something like that. I mean, it's been a decade plus here where it's been a struggle, and they've been going through coaches, and a lot of people feel like Kevin Kruger may be out after this year if they can't have some sort of quick, crazy turnaround here. But for this city, and now it's becoming a sports town, and the size of this building, and it's Las Vegas, they just haven't been able to get it going here.
No, they haven't, and it's been a little bit of a head-scratcher, really, with UNLV, because, I mean, you take a look at guys going into the NBA, and UNLV has some of the most guys in the league that have gone to the NBA, and even number 1 overall, Anthony Bennett, who of course didn't pan out in the NBA, but was a phenomenal college player. They've had all this talent, but for one reason or another, just have not been able to put it together on any type of good season, really, since I've been doing the radio. I mean, they've had really good individual players and even a couple guys on the team, but just for some reason, just not putting it together.
11-11 this year, 5-6 in conference play. They've lost 4 straight games. They had those 2 great wins against Utah State and San Diego State. They've lost 4 straight, but only by a total of 15 points.
So they're right there. I mean, it just shows you. I mean, the Broncos have been on the edge of some of those tight games as losses, but it just shows you that one free throw here, one defensive rebound, that you don't give up the offensive board there. That's what can make a difference. And on the road, rebounding is going to be big. I think they beat UNLV by either 17 or 19 on the boards at home, which helped. One of the reasons why that they went wire to wire.
What's that do for the psyche of a team when Boise State knows they handled them pretty good? Which team has the edge in the rematch?
Well, I mean, I think the Broncos do. I think they're a better team, But when you talk about the mental side of it, that a lot of it falls on the coaching right now, because you do have a team that you look at and you say, okay, this is a team that we beat by over 20 points the last time we saw them. We never were behind. It might have been actually one of the best games that the Broncos have played this season overall. But as coaches, you got to show them new video, new film to say, like, hey, this is a completely different team. I know they've lost some close ones, but they also had some really good wins after they played us the first time as well. So it'll be a different team, and especially here in this building.
Timmy Fuller says, I'm here at the game. Let's go Broncos. Shout out to Timmy Fulmer. And I'll tell you what, there's probably, 30, 35 people here so far, and I count, 7 or 8 Bronco fans. They're gonna have some Vegas Broncos are coming out tonight.
Yeah, I like it. This is one of the places that you do see maybe a little more blue and orange than some other road venues.
Larry Johnson was no slouch. They had Stacey Ogman. They had Greg Anthony back in the day. I mean, they've had some players here, man.
It was like NIL before NIL.
What are you getting at there?
I don't know. That's just a guess.
Back to Boise State for a final couple minutes here, Abe. And we talked about the lineup changes and all that. What do you make of them? The rotation going from 11 down to 9. We're not seeing much of Lockett. I mentioned Anderson. I don't know if that changes tonight because of their size. But, I mean, this is a guy that started last time they played them. But what do you make of just going down to 9? And I know Buchanan's not starting, but he's getting his 30 minutes now. And it seems like they're starting to figure out how they want to move forward here with the plans.
Yeah, I think it had to happen. Coach Rice did as good as he could with 11 guys. I mean, that's just a lot of guys to go with a set amount of minutes in a game. And so to cut it down, and at this point too, I think it makes it easier for guys to find their flow. And I think one of the reasons that they did it was defensive production. We heard him talk about that against the Nevada game on why he started those certain players who started the last couple games, and it was defensive efficiency, and they were the best defenders statistically. And I don't know this, but I mean, I would think that Lockett and Anderson might have been a bit, maybe not as good defensively, statistically, or I think they would have probably gotten some playing time in that Nevada game.
And Buchanan continues to impress with the playing time. He's kind of emerged as that third guy in the big three right now. And if you can get Meadow, who scored 20 points, I mean, you feel good about Tyson and Alvaro Cardenas. But if you can get, double figures consistently from Buchanan and Meadow, that changes things for this team moving forward.
Oh man, I mean, you got 4 guys that you're talking about that could give you 15 or more points, and if they all click on the same game, I mean, you're going to be sitting there touching 90 if everyone's really starts playing well offensively. But yeah, Buchanan's coming along. His offense has really transitioned from the beginning of the season. And so has Andrew Meadows' offense transitioned from last year, where he was asked to really just shoot threes. And now he's a big time driver to the hoop. We actually talked to him about that after the last game in Fresno. And he goes, what's kind of funny is that I didn't really become like a shooter until I got here. In high school, I was all about driving to the hoop and finishing through contact. So it's something that he's done his entire basketball career, but they just needed him to do something different last year than what they need him to do this year. And he's driving more, and I think you're seeing his offense pay off.
And he's a great free throw shooter, so if he gets to the line, that's usually 2 points.
Yes.
Hey, what do you make of the defense? You mentioned it earlier, but on the road, I mean, I heard Kevin Kruger saying Boise State's the most physical team in the league with what they have down low with Stanley and Degenhardt and Buchanan. But on the road, you mentioned the rebounding battle last time, but it would seem rebounding and defense, and I think I saw the stat like in Boise State on the road this year, their defense in terms of points per possession is much worse than at home. It would seem like if this would be a perfect time to have one of those classic Mike Burns defensive games, win the rebounding battle, lock up defensively, and head for the airport for the charter with a nice road win.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it does come down to rebounding. And when you talk about defense, it's the defensive rebounding, because you're going to get stops. You're going to get misses. But when you give up those offensive rebounds, that's when shooting percentages really start to tick up, when you can get 2, maybe 3 chances in a possession. So the defensive rebounding, with just to finish off the defensive play, is going to be big.
Bronco 130 is asking about the referees. One of the officials tonight is the official who got into the bumping incident with Jared Calhoun the other night at Utah State. I don't know if you saw that or not, but Tommy Nunez bumped Jared Calhoun. There was a whole thing. Utah State fans were not happy. He is one of the officials tonight, so keep an eye on that, along with Kevin Brill as well. But final thing, Abe, just your thoughts on this matchup, the importance of it for Boise State, and how do they get it done?
Well, I think you get it done by the defensive side. Like you mentioned, they have not been great defensively on the road. We've seen some massive shooting percentages. That second half at Utah State just really stands out in my mind, where the Aggies shot 80% in that second half. So I think this one's going to come down to defense, because really those 4 scores that we talked about, you're going to get points. I mean, it would take a really off night for the Broncos not to really get into the 60s or even the high 60s. So I think the offense is going to be there. This one comes down to defense.
Well, we'll be listening here in about 11 minutes. You and Bob Beeler over on 670 KBOI with the pregame show. Your broadcast just after 8 o'clock. I think they've put in the dreaded 5-minute slide. It'll be a 8:10 tip-off locally, 9:10 back in Boise on the CBS Sports Network. But again, I love Chris Lewis. I love Dan Dickow, but turn down the radio, line it up with Bob and Abe, and appreciate you. I can't get you post-game because you'll be hurrying out of here, but appreciate you, and we'll talk to you Friday night before the San Jose game.
Sounds good, man.
Hey, we're back in 30 seconds here on the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show.
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, RowPaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jackson's, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.
And welcome back, I should say, here to the Thomas and Mack Center. This is the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. My name is PJ Rains, and we are with Bronco Nation News, and we are live here from the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas as Boise State gets set for a huge Mountain West Conference matchup with UNLV. Boise State only 2-4 on the road in conference play, but the Broncos have won 4 straight here at UNLV, and they've won 9 of 10 overall against UNLV. So this would be a great time to keep those streaks rolling. Boise State to get a big win here on the road. We appreciate the 352 of you tuning in right now on the various social media channels, YouTube, Facebook, X of Bronco Nation News. If you want to give us a like, give us a retweet, give us a share, give us a subscription on YouTube, all that good stuff. We would love to have that while you're here. We do this every pregame, every postgame for Boise State basketball and Boise State football here on Bronco Nation News, and we are here at the Thomas and Mack Center thanks to your generous subscriptions. $50 using that promo code BNN50 deal gets you a 1-year subscription to Bronco Nation News for just $50. And again, our subscribers and our paid advertisers, which you just heard us talk about, are the reason that we were able to be on the road and be one of the only outlets down here covering this game. So we appreciate all of you guys for your support. Thank you for making it possible for BNN to be down here, and hopefully with the live look you're getting at warm-ups and some of the other stuff going on, you are appreciative of the coverage here and feel like you're getting your money's worth for your $50 investment. But again, Boise State, got to win this game. Got to win this game. All the things that they want to do, the slim chances of a NCAA tournament bid, the slim chances of a Mountain West championship, you can't lose this game. You got to win this game. You got to keep the momentum rolling, and then you try to win Friday against San Jose, and you get 8 days off after a 4-game winning streak. Would be the goal going down to Viejas Arena to take on a San Diego State team who certainly looks beatable right now as well. Boise State, we've talked about it. First half of the conference schedule had the hardest schedule in the league, at least in terms of all the contenders. Well, now, here in the second half of the schedule, it's the easiest schedule among all the contenders. So they've already gotten a lot of the tough road games out of the way. They've already gone to New Mexico. They've already gone to Utah State. They've already gone to Colorado State. And now they get all those teams to come back to Boise as well. So this is one of the remaining tough road games left on the schedule. And if you find a way to get this one, the only remaining tough road games are at San Diego State and at Nevada. You can win your home games, and you can win against Fresno and Air Force. And you got a chance to really finish with a lot of wins here, especially if you can pick off either Reno or San Diego State here as well. So big-time opportunity tonight for Boise State to get a road win, to get 3 in a row, to get some momentum going, and see what happens elsewhere in the conference down the stretch here as teams start to pick each other off. Jace Whiting is not active again tonight. He is sitting over there next to Rob Wiley. Both those guys look like they are out tonight. Rob Wiley is sitting there in some sweats. No revenge game for him tonight, and Jace Whiting also over there on the bench, so no Jace Whiting. This kind of has the vibe of a Leon Tech game. Yeah, we'll see, but as I said, Tommy Nunez, for those of you that were paying attention in that game, Utah State, New Mexico at Utah State, Tommy Nunez got into the chest, a little bit of a bump to the coach, Jared Calhoun there. That was a big story on the Utah State side. He is one of the officials working the game tonight, Tommy Nunez, and he was also one of the officials at the Malice of the Palace game in the NBA. By the way, you can hear the drum line behind me. It's Vegas Golden Knights night here. You can kind of see him back up there in the corner walking through the concourse right up there. It's a blackout, and it's a Vegas Golden Knights game tonight. So the Vegas Golden Knights mascot is here, the drum line, some of their dance team and cheerleaders are here, and the fans are wearing black. Somebody is asking where the crowd is. We are 36 minutes from tip-off. They're only expecting about 4,000 fans tonight. This arena seats 18,000, so it is not going to be a full house here tonight at the Thomas and Mack Center. You see Boise State again wearing the white uniforms tonight. The reason for that is the blackout for UNLV, so they chose the black uniforms. Boise State could have still worn some color, but they elected to go white, so Boise State has a much better record in the white uniforms with the tournament down in the Cayman Islands, with the home games. I believe the home record is much better in the white than they are in some of the other uniforms here. So Tyson Degenhart and the Broncos, rarity on the road, going with the white home uniforms here at the Thomas and Mack Center. Of course, this is where the Mountain West Conference tournament is next month. They do a tremendous job of taking down all the banners, taking down all the references to UNLV. And you really would not know that this was a UNLV arena for the most part when you get down here for the conference tournament. It's a new floor. They rearranged some of the seating. They put banners up of all the other teams, but they do a pretty good job of trying to keep this as neutral as possible when it comes to the conference tournament and UNLV. So it's a good chance for Boise State on this floor about a month before the tournament to at least kind of get a feel for the arena, the shooting angles. This is a big arena, 18,000 seats. As I said, it's a massive arena, NBA size arena. So it's a little different in terms of some of the sight lines and things. And so certainly it's always good to get a game under here, even though it's different by the time that they come back for the conference tournament. Again, let's take some of your comments, some of your thoughts. We're going to hear from Leon Rice as well here in the ICCU YouTube chat. Give us your score predictions. Give us your thoughts on tonight's game. Give us your prediction on your player of the game. Let us know that as well. We'll where you're watching from tonight. We'll give some shout-outs here coming up. But first, want to thank a couple of our sponsors. Our title sponsor is RoePaint.com, Andy Rowe and Company, ROEPaint.com. All your painting needs, your drywall needs. They're coming out to our house next week to do some drywall work and some painting. The estimate was very efficient. They came out, gave us a look, gave us a price quote. Great work at RoePaint.com. They've got those famous concrete coatings as well. So hit up our title sponsor, RoePaint.com. Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. The SON Management, the Nicolason family. The Raines family had some Taco Bell tonight, I believe, on the way home from baseball hitting lessons. SON Management, the Nicolason family. Great affordable food, whether it's the $7 Lux Cravings box, whether it's the Cantina Bowls, the cheesy roll-ups, the tacos. Hit up Taco Bell at Treasure Valley Taco Bell location, and they're hiring too. So get more information on applying for a job at TacoBellWorks.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. We appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. There's a branch on every corner, but the easiest, that mobile e-branch online banking right there in your smartphone. Idaho Central Credit Union, you may think you like your banking experience. I promise you'll like it more if you make the switch to ICCU. And Jackson's, we'll have the Jackson's postgame show coming up after the game. As soon as the game ends on the road, it's pretty quick because they try to get out of here. So we'll fire up the postgame show right after the game ends. Flip back over here to YouTube, Facebook, or X a couple minutes after the game ends. We'll have the Jackson's postgame show. And remember, the Broncos score 70. You get a $2 hot dog and fountain drink at Jackson's when you use your Let's Go reward app. That's 2 days after the game. So this would be on Thursday if the Broncos can get 70 today. All right, Hayden is saying Brennan Ramirez for the Roe Paint player of the game. Hayden, if Brennan Ramirez ends up being the player of the game, I'll give you a lifetime subscription to Bronco Nation News, Hayden. How about that? If we give the player of the game to Brennan Ramirez, heck, if Brennan Ramirez even plays in this game, that might be worth a yearly subscription for Hayden here, because that would be a good sign for Boise State. If Brennan Ramirez gets in this game, no disrespect to Brennan Ramirez, Boise State is probably in a pretty good spot here to win this game. Nate Gutierrez going with Tyson, 19 points, Cardenas clearing the path. Broncos winning by 7 is what he has. Stanley minutes at 17. I'm going to take the over tonight. I'm going to take the over. UNLV has some size. This is kind of a game where you'd like to – you probably could use the physicality and the rebounding and the defense of Omar Stanley. I think Omar Stanley gets probably over 20 minutes tonight, personally. Maybe I'm dead wrong. I've been wrong on Omar Stanley all year. But I think tonight is a night where Omar Stanley could be a major factor for Boise State because of his size and his physicality. And, heck, in 16 minutes the other night, he had 10 points, 6 boards. The big key for Stanley is he just has to stay out of foul trouble. Stanley can stop fouling. He has a chance to play some big minutes, I think, moving forward here. Mike's got 74-66, 8-point win for the Broncos. Bowie is the player of the game. I can see that happening. Bob Berry has R.J. Keene, 11 rebounds, and he's giving us a free plug there. Like and subscribe. I agree with that. Who is starting tonight, Omar or Ems? I'll check that here in a minute when we're hearing from Leon Rice. I will check the lineups. I don't think they're in yet. Why have Lockett's minutes gone down? Frankly, just the coaches feel like other guys deserve to play more than him right now. I mean, he started for 6 games, didn't even play in the Nevada game, then gets in mop-up duty the other night against Fresno State. But they just didn't like some of the things that he was doing and felt some other guys deserved more of the minutes. Too many guys were playing. They had to cut it down somewhere. And they like what some of these other guys like R.J. Keene are bringing to the table right now more than him. So I still think he'll play. I still think he's a factor at some point this season. But right now the coaches feel like he's not deserving of the minutes. Greg Myers has Buchanan with 17 points. Buchanan also player of the game from Roy. Crash has 82-74 Cardenas. Chase Love agreeing 25 and 25, he says. Wow. Chase Love, if Omar Stanley can go 25 and 25, heck, if he even goes 20 and 20, I'll give you a year subscription for free to Bronco Nation News. I'm loving the prediction tonight. Chad also has 20 points for Omar Stanley here. By the way, we're checking in on Utah State. They're up 6 on Wyoming. They were down 5 at the half. Wyoming is without its best player, Obi Agbum. Kind of ran out of gas a little bit. There's 30 seconds left in the game. Utah State is up 6, looking like they're going to get a nice road win at Wyoming tonight. John P., we got a San Diego State fan in the chat here. Boise, Colorado State, San Diego State will be the 3 to 5 seeds in no particular order for the Mountain West tournament, especially if Boise State wins tonight. And yeah, we said it earlier on the show. If Boise State wins tonight, they'll have a 3-game edge. They'll be guaranteed of at least a 3-game edge, and it's basically 4 because of the tiebreakers for the number 5 seed, which means you get a bye. The top 5 teams get a bye. If Boise State wins tonight, they'll be in 5th place, go with a 3-game lead on 6th place. So big game tonight to try to make sure you stay out of that first-round play-in game. You want to finish no worse than 5. I still think they could get up to 3, maybe even 2. I still think that the schedule's in Boise State's favor here. No offense to Colorado State. Look at their schedule, though. I just think that they've got some losses coming. I think they're a solid team, but I think Colorado State is going to come back to earth a little bit with some of the road venues they still have to go play in. So I think that Boise State is certainly primed to stay in the top 5, and I think get as high as 3rd, maybe even 2nd. But 3 seed, there'd be nothing wrong with that probably. There's a pretty big drop-off, I think, after the 5 top teams to the bottom teams in terms of who you would play in that 6-11 game or 7-10 game. Let's go win the conference. Yeah, I mean, you're only 3 games back. It's certainly possible. If Boise State could win out, they may have a chance. As I said, the schedule is in their favor here moving forward. Todd Michael. Appreciate you, Todd. We'll be ready on the Jackson's postgame show. Peanut and Meadow, 5 threes between them. If that happens, Boise State is probably in a really good spot to win this game tonight. If they get 5 threes from Peanut and Meadow, I like the prediction there, Todd. That's a nice one. I'm looking forward to that. I might start working at Taco Bell. Please do, Hayden. That'd be awesome. Tell them you heard about it on Bronco Nation News. Let me know if you get the job there. I'll tell the owners, and we'll make sure that they know that that's the case, and that'd be great. Hopefully you do. It's a great place to work. Free food while you work, half the wages the next day after your shift. Go work at Taco Bell. Go hit it up. I like that. Brent Chapman. Buchanan gets the double-double tonight. Tyson is the player of the game. By the way, speaking of double-double, it's very odd that I am losing weight now, so I'm not exactly eating a lot of fast food these days. But it is odd to come down to Vegas and not care about going to In-N-Out because they have it in Boise now. I used to always at some point have to go to In-N-Out when I'd come to Vegas and get that double-double, and now I just don't care because they have it in Boise. But also, as I said, trimming up a little bit, so not exactly in the in-and-out phase right now. RJ gets to 5 points on 2 shots. RJ Keene scoring tonight. Ben going out on a line there. Interesting question here. Would I trade the Blues, Chiefs, and Cardinals World Series titles or titles I've seen for a BSU round of 32 appearance? I don't know if I would do second round. If you said Final Four, I would have to seriously think about it. But if it's just winning one game in the tournament, I'm sorry, but the emotional tie I have to Boise State is not that big. And being diehard, lifelong fans of those teams, especially the Blues and the Cardinals, that would be I'd have to go with those moments over one win in a tournament. Sorry about that. But if you went Final Four or a national championship, I'd have to certainly think about it. Spencer Buchanan, Uncle Buchanan, checking in tonight. Good evening, Spencer. Appreciate you for chiming in. Javen's uncle. Always enjoy when the Buchanan family jumps into the chat. Jason has 72-68. Degenhart going for 22 points tonight. That is Jason's prediction, 22 points. Boise State is coming back onto the court. Let's thank a few more sponsors real quick, and then we'll show you some more of the warm-ups. Snake River Pool and Spa, patio and game, thespateam.com. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa, been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. Whether it's a spa, whether it's a pool table, whether it's a sauna, they got you covered. Get more information and check out their full inventory and options at thespateam.com. Hey, if you need some Boise State gear, the Blue and Orange store has you covered. Coaches, sideline apparel, sweatshirts, jackets, the Nike jerseys you see here, all your Boise State gear, the NIL gear, the Fiesta Bowl gear, they still got some of that. Order online anywhere in the world, theblueandorangestore.com, or check out the Blue and Orange store at theblueandorangestore.com. I mentioned Jackson's. Don't forget that $2 hot dog and fountain drink. $2 when the Broncos score 70 points. 2 days later, you get a hot dog, a fountain drink, and I believe they throw in a banana for $2 using the Let's Go Rewards app. So download the Let's Go Rewards app and be ready, because if the Broncos get 70 tonight, you get this sweet deal for $2 on Thursday. And don't forget, we'll have the Jackson's postgame show coming up after the game. Hey, Lithia Ford of Boise, you can view their full inventory online at lithiafordboise.com. They've got some new NIL deals just announced. Some football players, Roger Carrion, Cage Casey, Latrell Caples, some athletes in some other sports as well, volleyball, golf, some Boise State coaches, administrators. They're taking care of their car payment, taking care of the lease on a vehicle. So return the favor. Next time you're looking for that car or truck, make the purchase at Lithia Ford of Boise. Hey, Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. I mentioned it. We'll have that player of the game coming up. The Bauscher Real Estate player of the game. Number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. You meet everybody in that picture when you buy or sell a home from Matt, because the personalized service is unmatched. I highly recommend. Everybody has lots of friends that are realtors in this town, but I highly recommend giving our buddy Matt Bauscher a call at BauscherRealEstate.com. And Ridley's Family Markets, shopRidleys.com. Locations across the state of Idaho, Treasure Valley, Magic Valley, everywhere in between. Ridley's Family Markets. Get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line when you download their Skip app. You can find a location near you, again, at shopridleys.com. Give you a live look back here. By the way, Utah State wins 70-65. I can also report, by the way, that the media room here at UNLV has Chick-fil-A. They provide Chick-fil-A for the media, but apparently so many media kind of just stand around and other stadium workers and think it kind of bum rush the table when it gets here, that I was going to try to sneak a Chick-fil-A sandwich. I know it's not the healthiest option tonight, but I had our man Alex with the Boise State video team trying to snag me a Chick-fil-A sandwich when he just gave me the text that they all showed up, but apparently it's already gone. He was in the back of the line, and he didn't even get anything. So free media food. It's not a lot of overweight media members. We go diving for the buffet as quick as possible. When you say free Chick-fil-A, you can see a mad dash for the media room. But apparently, this gentleman at least got the cookies, it looks like. But no dice on the Chick-fil-A here for yours truly. But I will live and probably better off that I didn't get it anyway to begin with here. Chase really wants the tourney win. Yeah, that would certainly be nice to have. who knows? Maybe they can go on a run here and get that. Guy loses 40 pounds and starts playing with house money. I'm only at 39. I'm not quite at 40 yet. Based on that, you got to think there are more media members and fans there. I mean, yeah, there's 22 minutes on the clock, and this is your crowd right now. Now, there are a lot of fans in the, at the concession stand and the beer line and the bar back here, but it's not going to be a sellout by any means. But still a tough place to play. Again, Utah State came here and Utah State lost. So anybody can win or lose on any given night in the Mountain West Conference, especially in this building. Let's hear a little bit from Leon Rice talking about this team and how they're playing right now. We're going to hear from Leon Rice. But again, get your comments in, your score predictions, your thoughts. We'll keep things rolling here on the pregame show as long as possible until they make us get off. But let's hear a couple minutes from Leon Rice, meeting with the media yesterday back in Boise ahead of tonight's game against UNLV. And by the way, turn your volume up a little bit. I'm sorry, nothing I can do about it, but the volume is not super loud on the Leon Rice interview, so I'm giving you a fair warning right now. Turn the volume up a little bit on the Leon Rice interview, and let's hear from Leon ahead of the game tomorrow night.
Leon, the defense improved the most these past couple games.
Well, there have been a lot of things that I've noticed during a game, and when you have a group of new guys and you almost, like I always talked about, you don't know what you even don't know about them yet. And so through the course of a year, you'll see things pop up and you're like, God, we're not really good at that. We've always been good at that, or we can get them a lot better at that. And part of it is, you assume that they know stuff because you've taught it consistently throughout the years, but it's not fair to those young guys. You look out there last year and you're like, well, Max knows what to do, and this guy knows what to do, and that guy, because we've done it for, year after year after year. But those freshmen had never done a lot of those things consistently where it was a habit. And so you're seeing a lot of the habits, so they don't have to think so much and they can react quicker. And that's part of being a really good defensive team, is that you can all five move and anticipate each other's movement. And I harken back to like Max and Naj, that Naj knew Max so well and Max knew Naj so well that they covered for each other all the time because they had that history together, and then they had so many years together in this program, and that synergy was always visible. And you take it for granted and just assume, okay, well, that's always gonna be. But it's not fair to those new guys because they just hadn't developed that, a lot of those things. And so those days of practice that we were able to have during the bye, those are valuable, because this is a time of year where if you're practicing, have some time to practice other than, oh, we got a game tomorrow, we got to get ready, because you still have to do all that stuff. And, those ingredients are crucial to accomplishing the mission. But the development this time of year can be so important when you're playing a lot. And so that time was a gift for us to be able to get us a little bit better.
How much can that cohesion really carry you guys through the next 9 games of the regular season, and then however far you guys go in the postseason?
Well, just we don't look ahead. It's just the looking ahead right now is how can we keep scheduling our practice so we can keep making progress, and if we do, then you're going to get somewhere pretty good, because these guys are coachable, they are improving, and they are making progress, and so we have to keep capitalizing on that. But there's also my job is to be the chef of like finding the right amount of practice with the right amount of rest with the right amount of prep, and so that's always a challenge to do, because you want to get out there and do a lot of things, but you also gotta we're in February, and you can't. Tyson and Alvaro play consistent minutes throughout a long season, and you got to keep them fresh too. So there's a lot that goes into that, but we got another bye coming up too, but we're not looking ahead to that, obviously. Hopefully we can keep making the progress that we're making right now.
What did you learn about your rotation last week? What did you learn?
I felt more comfortable with it, no doubt. I felt more comfortable. But the thing that I've learned is I have to just kind of, it's not going to be like I'm settled in. And, we have had some teams here that, they could sub themselves in, and they often did because they knew the time. Okay, this one I sub in every game. Boom, this one I boom. I don't think we're ever going to get quite to that with this group because different guys and different nights. I think the thing, to answer your question, the thing I learned the most is I have to really try to get a feel for what's working. But, you know, then you got to always factor in foul trouble and matchups and all those things. But I have to have such a feel, and all of us on the bench of, okay, who's really playing well? You know, what are my eyes telling me on that night? So so the box score can reflect that at the end of the night. Well, this guy's doing a great job. Because, you know, sometimes you watch film and you're like, man, that guy played a lot better than I thought he did. Because they do a lot of intangible things or things that you might not notice until you watch the film and you're like, God. Or they might make one mistake that jumps out at you. You're like, oh, that guy, what's he doing? You know, and you look and he played every other minute, he played great. So I think that's what I learned is to keep all of us, the assistants, me, and to keep looking at the right data, keep looking at the right matchups, keep looking at what's helping us the most, and adjust minutes accordingly.
It seems like last week, first half was almost an audition for the second half. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, and I think that's how I have to take it, because it's hard. You're not winning college basketball games, let alone league games in the first half. I mean, too bad BJ's not here. He could attest to the rock chalk. I mean, if a team like Kansas is losing a lead like that, it can happen to anyone. Because last time I checked, Bill Self's a heck of a coach. And it's not that. It's just the way the game is now. And those can be a little bit of fool's gold. Not always. I mean, you're up that much for a reason. But it's just not the old days where those were automatic.
Well, there's Leon Rice meeting with the media. You got about 20 minutes till tip-off. You can go watch the full interview if you want to when we're off the air here. That's on our YouTube channel. We post interviews to YouTube, the YouTube/Bronco Nation News, where hopefully you're watching this live show. We post all of our press conference videos, highlights, all of our live shows, everything go to our YouTube channel there on Bronco Nation News. Yeah, I got a shout out, partially because he was taking a shot at Kansas, but I was already airborne flying down to Vegas yesterday during that press conference and wasn't there, and that is thanks to Jaden Finch for going and getting the interview there for us. You see Boise State heading back into the locker room for the final time. About 14 minutes on the clock. I believe this is an 8:10 local time, 9:10 in Boise tip-off. You got any final score predictions, thoughts, player of the game? Let us know where you're watching from. We'll get to that here on the Lithia Ford Boise pregame show. Plenty still to come, but first want to thank a few more sponsors. Transcompservice.com. If you're looking to get into the trucking industry, transportation compliance service is the company to reach out to. Transcompservice.com. All the permits, DOT, overweight, everything you need. Transportation compliance service, transcompservice.com. Hey, Lean Feast. That's right. I'm down 39 pounds. Thanks in part to Lean Feast. LeanFeastMeridian.com. You can check them out. LeanFeastMeridian.com. I need to get John Molchon up here. I see him down there. I'm going to call him live on the air here and see if he wants to come up. This is great radio right here. I'm going to call John Molchon live on the air here. Hey, John, you want to come up here? Come on the show for a minute. Let's see the left. Let's see the left. Up the stairs. Up the stairs. I think John's going to come up for a minute. How about that? John Molchon is here. Lean Feast just got the longest graphic on the screen of all time there. We appreciate Lean Feast. LeanFeastMeridian.com. Speakpipe.com/BNN. Speakpipe.com/BNN. Leave us a voicemail. Leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox. We got the whole crew in the house. Hold on a second here. Leave us a voicemail. Thanks to Signature Roofing, covering our community for more than 2 decades. MySignatureRoofing.com. MySignatureRoofing.com. .com. We're gonna put we got a whole crew here. We got hey, there's worse places for work trips to Las Vegas, right? There's work there. Look, we got John Molchon. We got come on, Morales. There he is. Hey, John, put this headset on for a second here. I saw you down there and I called you and you looked at your phone like, why is he calling me?
No, I know.
We only got a couple minutes here because they're going to kick me off. But just how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. I figured if you're calling, I mean, it's Vegas, right? So I know it's time to have a good time and watch this game. And
it was great radio too. A great show. I'm live on the air calling you to come on. It was. I
love it.
It was great. But are you a basketball guy? I mean, you saw this on the schedule. You had nothing going on tonight.
No. So I have an awesome coworker that has season tickets here, and he loves the competitive rivalry of UNLV and Boise State.
Okay.
He immediately found out that I was a Boise guy, and he's trying to get after me, but we don't allow that.
Now I'm trying to think. Were you on the 2017?
Yes.
So you won the Vegas Bowl here over Oregon.
Yep.
Correct.
Correct.
Any other games you got to? I'm trying to remember when you got to play here or your games against UNLV over the years. Back then, you didn't play them every year. Kind of a weird schedule, right?
Yeah, it was certainly a weird schedule, but we've had our fair share of time over at Sam Boyd. So it is good to be back here at the Thomas and Mack. So it does give me a little bit of a remnants of when I was super young, but then I wanted to win championships at Boise. So.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie. There's some little bit of blue sprinkled in here. I mean, there's
of course.
There's a little bit of orange. I'm seeing not a huge crowd here, but there's going to be some Boise State fans here.
Oh, 100%. I can already see it. They're coming in.
What is the perception in Las Vegas of Boise State?
Probably just really nice people. Just wholesome, great gals and guys.
I mean, there's been a little bit of a pipeline over the years, right? I'm trying to think of some of the other guys. You're not the only one. What other guys from Vegas have gone on to play football at Boise State?
We have Shaw. Darian Shaw was one.
Yep.
Man, you're putting me on the spot.
I know, but I feel like
I'm kind of proud of myself for that one.
Yeah, that is a good one. That is a good one. I feel like every other year, though, there's somebody. We got Bronco legend.
What's up, Chase?
Were you on the 2019 team? Unfortunately, they lost to Coach Pete.
Yep, that was a brutal one.
Yeah, that game didn't go too well. We don't need to bring that one back up.
Yeah, why, Chase?
That's on Chase again. Billy Wynn, former defensive lineman, a legend.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is the footwork and hand speed still good, John? Maybe we can use the waiver to get you back for a year.
Hey, I would love to. I mean, college was such a good time. And honestly, I've been working on my footwork with pickleball. So
pickleball.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. We really enjoyed having you on with Brad Bedell over at Circa.
Good times.
I'm staying at Circa again on this trip, and it's a cool spot. But for folks that maybe missed that interview, what is the life update on what you're doing these days down here?
I'm over here working at the Water District, which is a good work over there, and just kind of continuing a totally new career in the corporate life. So life is fantastic. I'm close to my family and also with my wife here in Las Vegas, and we're just happy.
Always miss seeing your, when the players graduate, I miss, getting to cover the players, but there's families too that you get to know, and I always miss getting to see mom and dad at the games and on flights and stuff, and I hope they're doing well too.
Oh, they love you. They love you. They're gonna be fired up about this. So.
Well, I saw it was your birthday. When? What, yesterday? Today?
Yeah, Groundhog's Day.
Okay. Well,
the little rat always takes it from me.
Happy belated birthday! But I saw one of the photos I think your mom put was when you were on the show with us in Vegas.
Oh yeah,
last time. So you had the headset on there, but
you got the hair down. You got me to put the hair down and relax a little bit.
That's right. Is it fun now though, being an alum and getting to either have a beer or a soda, just come to a game as a fan, whether it's football, basketball, whatever, and just kind of have those memories and have that diploma and just see your alma mater out there regardless of the sport?
Oh, I'm a proud alum, and it's even better like just being able to just have fun, talk about the good history, even the tough stuff. I mean, it's just good to be around everyone and honestly be back to a little bit of Bronco culture here. So
well, we appreciate you for stopping by and making the hike up here. Enjoy the game. Don't get teed up or anything if you're sitting courtside here. Looks like you got some pretty good seats. So.
I'm gonna try to be, on my P's and Q's here. But hey, I saw what weight am I running on now? 275 fullback right here.
There you go. What was your
this
playing weight?
Fit.
305?
335. I got up there.
Oh wow.
And then I tapered it down a little bit, 315.
When you went to the NFL, did you have to add even more, or were you?
It was a balanced 320.
Okay.
Call it 320. So.
Well, I'm down about 39 since the UNLV game in October.
Let's
so
go.
I'm going the other. I'm trying to lose some weight as well. So appreciate you, man.
Love you guys.
Yeah, people are excited to see you on the chat there. So thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for calling.
Always good seeing you. And maybe in August, if we get Bedell to come down, we'll do that again over at Circa. Again.
I'm always here for a good time. Thank
appreciate
you, BJ.
Man. Thanks a lot. There he is. John Molchon. Appreciate him at the last minute for coming by and joining us. Always one of our favorites. We appreciate him for coming on. Again, you see a live look here at UNLV, the Thomas and Mack Center. Boise State getting set here about 7 minutes on the clock from taking on UNLV, and one of the best in the business. He has a Super Bowl ring, John Molchon, with Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Was an all-conference lineman for Boise State football team, lives here in Las Vegas, and now here at the game as a fan. Pretty cool for him. So I do see some Boise State fans behind the bench. I see some kind of spread out a little bit. We're going to have some Boise State fans in the house tonight. This is going to be a fun night. Boise State has won 4 straight here in Las Vegas against UNLV. Boise State has won 9 of 10 against UNLV overall. And they could really use one here tonight as they look to win their 3rd in a row with a chance to make it 4 maybe against San Jose State on Friday night, and then you get the nice bye week. Could be a 4-game winning streak for Boise State here. So not much of a crowd. You see the crowd here. There's 6 minutes on the clock, and this is your crowd right now. So maybe they're all just at the beer line, or one of the specialties here at Thomas and Mack Center is they have a Dairy Queen. They have a full-out Dairy Queen. Mountain West tournament, I get at least 1 Blizzard, maybe 2 sometimes. And so that's like the cool thing about coming to UNLV is they have the Dairy Queen here. Maybe they're all in the Dairy Queen line. And here come the Broncos. Odd and kind of weird to see them wearing the white uniforms on the road in Las Vegas, but UNLV has the blackout tonight in the crowd with their fans. So that Boise State had the option to wear the lighter colored uniforms, and they went ahead and wore the white uniforms tonight. Okay, Boise State, the starting lineups are in. Going to be the same starting lineup we've had the last couple of games for Boise State. R.J. Keene, Alvaro Cardenas, Tyson Degenhart, Andrew Meadow, and Emmanuel Ugbo starting for Boise State. So the same starting 5 as the last couple of games. We'll see what the over-under is on minutes played for Emmanuel Ugbo before he goes to the bench. Chase says should have worn blue. They've worn blue down there before, but honestly, they got a pretty good record in the white uniform since most of those have been at home. So down for a blizzard right now. Yeah, they've got it here at the Thomas and Mack Center. It's like an action. It's like when it was Taco Bell Arena back in the day, and everyone said they should have had a Taco Bell. Like, yeah, they've got an actual. It's not just a little thing. It's an actual Dairy Queen at the arena. So I highly recommend you hitting that up if you come back for the Mountain West tournament here in the near future. I was going to look something up. Oh, the starting lineup. If you have any final thoughts on that, final score predictions, let us know. UNLV is going with Jaden Henley, a guard averaging 12 points a game. Dedon Thomas Jr., 16 points a game, 4.7 assists per game. One of the best players in the Mountain West Conference, Dedon Thomas Jr., 16 points a game. Julian Rishwain, he's a shooter. Cannot let him get hot from 3, averaging 8.7 points per game. Jalen Hill, the Oklahoma transfer, 8.2 points per game. And Jeremiah Bear Cherry, the 7-footer, averaging 9 points, 5 rebounds. He is starting as well. They are firing up this capacity crowd, turning the lights off. They got the red carpet out for the Runnin' Rebels as they get set to take the floor here before the game. What a pregame production for the 500 or 600 fans that are here right now. They are expecting about 4,000, I believe. 4,000 fans in a 18,000 or so seat arena, so it's not going to be sold out tonight by any means. But they turn the lights off. Rebels take the floor, and they roll up the red carpet here as they get set for their warm-ups. You see Boise State warming up at the other end. Boise State's coaches are wearing the white polos, the white pullovers, gray pants over there on the right. So Boise State leaning into this with the all-white here tonight against the blackout of UNLV. We appreciate Lithia Ford. LithiaFordBoise.com. You can view their full inventory of vehicles. Our title sponsor, RoePaint.com as well, ROEPaint.com. There it is, the Rebels chant. My wife and kids love that chant. Rebels. You'll hear it all game, and it's already started here as the fans get the Rebels chant going here at the Thomas and Mack Center. But RoePaint.com, our title sponsor. All of our sponsors make these trips possible, give you live coverage here just minutes away from tip-off. So please support the sponsors, folks. Please consider a subscription to Bronco Nation News. $50 gets you a full year. BroncoNationNews.com, and help support our road trip coverage. You got Bob and Abe down here right in front of me getting set to go live. And then you got Bronco Nation News. I'll pan down for a second. There's Bob and Abe right there. They're live on the air, so you can turn down your TV and listen to Bob and Abe. They're sitting right in front of me here on the media seating high atop the Thomas and Mack Center here. So please support the sponsors. Please consider a subscription and make it possible for us to do these road game, these trips and things. So we appreciate all you guys for joining us tonight on the pregame show. Remember, join us on the Jackson's postgame show. We'll be back live right after the game on the Jackson's postgame show. As soon as that final buzzer sounds, keep refreshing your YouTube until you see the new link go live. And then we'll be live on Bronco Nation News. We appreciate all you guys for checking us out. Thank you. Final score prediction from Chad, 71-67. Boise State needs a win badly. Huge Mountain West game. The Broncos have won 2 in a row. They're trying to make it 3, try to make it 4 on Friday. Got to get on a winning streak here if you want to have any chance to win in this conference, get into the NCAA tournament. If you're Boise State, you have to start stringing some wins together, and you have to win on the road. Boise State 2-4 on the road this season. Got to get a road win. Got to get things turned around starting tonight. And this, were the first 2 games kind of smoke and mirrors because you're at home playing bad teams, or did they finally turn the corner and figure something out? We're about to find out. Hey, that'll do it. A 1-hour pregame show live here on Lithia Ford Boise pregame show on Bronco Nation News. Thanks to our sponsors. Again, go subscribe. Go support the sponsors. Enjoy the game over on the CBS Sports Network, and we'll be back on the postgame show. We'll be back on the postgame show right after the game. We appreciate all you guys for your support of Bronco Nation News. Join us on the postgame show. It's game time. Boise State, UNLV. A big one here at the Thomas and Mack Center coming up shortly. This has been a production of Bronco Nation News. Our title sponsor, RoePaint.com, the Lithia Ford Boise pregame show from the Western Collective Studios. My name is BJ Rains, and we appreciate you guys so much. Enjoy the game. We'll see you on the postgame show here live from Las Vegas.
It's game day. Are you ready?
Let's go!
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, RoePaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jackson's, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.